It was short and squat, even shorter and squattier than Ricky. Its pallor was greasier, its cold goo gooier, and I'm not even going to mention its personal hygiene. It was hygienier. Everything in this fucking place was old, except for this vest's voice. Its voice was clear and futile. The oldness surrounded us like the ghost of Robert Creeley. It moved extraordinarily fast, especially for a concept, and a dead concept at that. I slapped the base of my galoshes with my hand. "Hey, where the fuck did you do that?" the vest asked, unsurprisingly incoherent. But then it left the room without another word. Ricky started hitting the sofa with his tire iron. He hit it, and then he sat down on it. He would sit down no more. Forever. All this lunging around seemed to bring out the dandy in him. "Greg, I want you to go." He started talking to me. But he was looking at Liv, and then he tried to distract us with an old trick. "Look!" We looked in every direction. From the mirage that was the wake of the vest and pants to the pair of eyes that were still hovering outside the window. But we didn't breathe anything. We watched the hovering eyes. Then I had to say something. Anything. "No one is more than the sum of their lunch money." A less coherent sentence wouldn't have set the... A less coherent sentence would have set the watch to see the pendulum. "I think that milk is intelligent," Liv mumbled. My turn. "It doesn't matter what you believe, Liv. You're embalmed." "I just want to go, you miserable fuck," Liv was regressing to her milk is intelligent self, her fingers dancing above her head maniacally. For me to at least appear to be sincere, I can't talk. And I can't be in a house where vests talk, and I can't begin to tell you how much a lobotomy would help right about now. All fucking right! If old people don't see elves inside of us, we'll go. Shh! Liv interrupted my rump roast rant. "Do you hear that?" I heard a song. In my heart. A song in my heart, and a banjo on my knee. I've got to start paying attention. Okay, I hear a voice, an extremely old and strange voice, but I ain't tell what words the voice is saying. It's babbling along in some idiom or other, or language or other, but who cares? I can't hear it anyway. "What is this half-assed shit?" I asked Ricky. Ricky didn't respond. I guess he didn't know what this half-assed shit was. Or he had opened the door and gotten a whiff of it. This boy had moved way past nervous. So why wasn't he babbling? I was so close to tearing his throat out, his mouth, that I actually couldn't understand why I hadn't. I picked up an old book instead. It was old and it claimed to cure herpes. "Ooh," Ricky finally spoke when I read him the title. Then there was silence, and then there was Liv snoring. In big gastrointestinal letters it read, M-A-G-I-C. Magic. "That's it," Liv said, waking up. "The fuck out of here, let's go!" It felt like we were having a pissing contest with our talons. Then suddenly there were ancient blocks of sound between us and the door. Should I read the... I don't know. No.
If you missed it, I don't know.
Okay, read the line. Then suddenly there were ancient blocks of sound between us and the door. How come I hadn't noticed that before? "Can we get the living fuck out of here pronto?" Liv asked. "I can't take any more of this gastrointestinal letters." She said it, and the words ran together like a Technicolor nightmare, complete with Border Collie herding the words into place. Hey, this isn't a Technicolor nightmare, it's my own bullcrap. It's my own personal bullcrap, and it's aromatic. I looked down. My galoshes! Someone had buried my galoshes and they weren't even dead. I saw a fresh pile of dirt, but it turned out to be an anthill. And there were tiny little ants on it. Who would have balls big enough to fuck with my galoshes? And fuck with my caramels? I was quickly losing it. I got glands the size of Glasgow and my caramels are... Will you take it easy? I turned around to see who had taken my hand. It was Liv. I need you to focus, Greg. And then, when you're focused, I need you to write a history paper for me, okay? I was saddened to see Liv's labia inferiority complex extend itself into my neurosis. And in the sudden darkness, we were now making our way through the house using sonar. Fortunately, I had Timex sonar watch. It was tan chillin', bing bong bling bling. Liv knew I could hear her drumming her fingers, and she also knew how much that pissed me off. We're talking lab rats pissed off. But the jury was still out as to when my inner voice was going to completely cancel out the world around me. The old door was down and salamanders were crawling through the doorway. And they were screaming like they were lab rat pissed. Liv had a way of stirring up amphibians here on Fierce Street. "Salamanders," I screamed. "We'll never get out of here. And this old house robbed me of my galoshes. We must call Junior Seau. If we don't, I'm going to piss myself." "You're too late," Liv griped. "The Chargers traded him in Miami 10 years ago. They got Hakeem and Yar." I wish I knew that was. "And a pair of galoshes. You bastard." Liv had a good reason to be a bastard. She'd been born 10 years too late. Came out of the womb bad. That and 4 feet tall. She looked like someone had taken a 4th grade girl and poured afterbirth all over her. Cleaned her up, stamped U.S. citizen on her forehead, and pointed toward primary school. Ah, the good old days. You could still see the IT and citizen on her forehead if you look closely. Liv and I somehow got our sorry asses out of there and back home. And there was Derek, passed out on my porch. "Great dreamer," he said when he came to and was urinating off the side of the porch. "It's time to call the coroner about your galoshes." Yeah, I mumbled. Couldn't believe Derek, what's-his-name, was urinating off my porch. I'd never water those daisies again. Note to self, I told myself as we entered the house. Note to self. Don't eat the daisies. Hurrying into my room, Derek zipped up his fly as if my room were full of camels. When everyone was in, I grabbed my caramel-colored bong and cried out, "Let's toke a bow!" I sure knew how to suppress the pain of purloined galoshes. Lady de Shiver shots. My high-voltage incontinence couldn't contain my calm, and I pulled out a razor blade.
Yes.